Now that Joe Biden is allowing Ukraine to use American-made weapons to strike deep into Russia, it's questionable how this will play out for Donald Trump when he comes into power in January 2025. Joining me now is Professor Scott Lucas from the Clinton Institute, University College Dublin. So, Scott, do you want to tell me what you make of Joe Biden's decision to allow US made weapons to be used in Russia?
The starting point is it should have been done months ago. Uh, Kyiv has been asking for these missiles. They're called ATACMS missiles since soon after the Russian invasion in 2022. Finally, the US delivered the first of these missiles in April, and Ukraine said, okay, we need to defend ourselves by counterattacking, hitting Russian military positions and support installations inside Russia itself. And the Biden administration continued to say no. Not only did it say no, uh, it also vetoed any Ukrainian use of British long range missiles. They're called Storm Shadows, or French long range missiles called Scalps. Uh, and Ukraine was fighting this war with one hand tied behind its back. Uh, because the context is that Russia is still trying to seize territory, especially in the east of Ukraine. Ukraine has countered by taking part of Western Russia. The Kursk region is trying to hold on there. Now, the Biden administration, I suspect, for many months has been like, oh, well, we don't want to give Ukraine permission to use these missiles because it might upset the Kremlin. They might retaliate. They might carry out strikes, not just against Ukraine, but what we call hybrid warfare, not necessarily direct military action, but cyber warfare, sabotage, disinformation campaigns. What finally changed the Biden administration's mind? Donald Trump. Donald Trump, of course, earlier this month won election, is going back into the White House in January. And so you had this very small window that if you were going to give Ukraine permission to use these weapons, it had to be now, because there's no way Donald Trump, who effectively is a vehicle for the Kremlin will play him, they'll manipulate him, as they have for years. There's no way Trump would have given the Ukrainians permission. So you act now.
When Donald Trump comes in office in January, on January 20th, what do you think he will do in retaliation to this move by Biden?
I mean, the immediate question will be whether Donald Trump would revoke the permission to use the US made long range missiles and veto the use of any British or French made missiles. I mean, the easy answer would be, oh, of course he's going to do that because he pretty much will do the Kremlin's bidding. But it's not so simple as that, because the US Pentagon, the military, is now tied into this decision to allow Ukraine to use the missiles. The State Department is tied into it. A lot of Republican congressmen will probably support this decision. So Trump will have to push back all of that institutional investment, as it were, in Ukraine's decision. It's far better, sorry, it's far tougher for Trump not to give permission in the first place than it is for him to roll back a decision which has already been made.